A lot of people have all kinds of worries about hypnosis and what it really involves. So I want to talk about the biggest myths around hypnosis and why it actually is the gateway to your very best life. So here's the most common myth that I hear all the time. Someone else will control my mind. You will have control over my mind if I let you hypnotize me. I'll be in your power. And what if I never, ever come out of hypnosis? I read somewhere that someone never came out of hypnosis. I always say, well, where is that person? I don't know. Are they in a warehouse downtown? I don't know, but I read about people who never come out of hypnosis. But they never read about where these people are. Are they stored somewhere? Are they in a hospital ward? Let me tell you, you cannot stay in hypnosis. Hypnosis is a natural state when you're engrossed in a television show, when you're driving home on a route that you take every day and you know so well. You are in hypnosis. And if I was to hypnotize a client and I passed out, or I for some strange reason left them in my office and went home, they could not stay in hypnosis even if they wanted to. Many years ago, I was hypnotizing a client on Zoom. I was in London, he was in Dubai, and the Wi-Fi dropped out. And I couldn't get back to him. And he called me later and he said, that was the funniest thing. I was actually remembering being a baby in my crib, and then you just went away. And I stayed in that scene for a minute, looked at it, then I opened my eyes, and then I tried to call you back. It was his Wi-Fi that was down. And then he just had to wait until it came back on. So he didn't stay in hypnosis, and many times when I'm doing sessions on Zoom, on FaceTime, on Skype, I have to tell a client, look, if the Wi-Fi drops and you can't get back to me, we can either speak on the regular phone or you can just wait until the Wi-Fi comes on again. But you cannot stay in hypnosis. I have never, in over 30 years, ever had a client remain in hypnosis. Sometimes they like it so much because it's so relaxing, they want to stay there, like having a beautiful dream. But you cannot stay in hypnosis and never come out of it. You go into it, you come out of it. It's a natural state. And you cannot be controlled by someone else ever. Think of it this way. Do you know a hypnotist in your area? Are they a millionaire, a billionaire? Because if you could control someone else's mind, then some hypnotists, not all, might say things like, by the way, you're so thrilled with this session, I want you to pay 10 times the amount. I want you to leave me your house in your will. I've worked with many, many billionaire clients. No one has ever said, I'm going to give you a Porsche. I was going to send you some flowers, a little Joe Malone hamper, but I thought, hey, I'll send you a Ferrari, because I couldn't say to them in hypnosis, I know you're probably going to send me flowers, but I would really like a Porsche. And even if I said that, it would never happen. I was working with someone a little while ago who wanted to drop 20 kilos. And for some reason I said 20 pounds. He said, no, not 20 pounds, 20 kilos. Because even though he was hypnotized, I wasn't controlling his mind. He heard me make a mistake. And in hypnosis, he corrected me, no, 20 kilos, that's more than 20 pounds because you are not unconscious. And that's myth too. I'll be asleep. You can do anything. Hypnosis puts you into such a deep sleep. You could do anything. You could sexually interfere with me. You could get out my phone and go through it. You could plant weird suggestions in my head. No, you can't, because hypnosis is not about going to sleep. Hypnosis is a sleep of the nervous system. What does that mean? It means your body is totally relaxed, but your mind is alert. After all, when I hypnotize people, I ask them questions. How old were you when your father left? How old were you when your mother went to hospital? How old were you when you got bullied at school? What happened to you when your grandmother came to live with you? And they're not asleep. They say, oh yes, when my father died and we had no money and we ended up in a trailer and I felt so inadequate. And that's the feeling I've kept my whole life. So they are pinpointing key issues that affected them, and they couldn't do that if they were asleep. It's a sleep of the nervous system. Your body is relaxed, but your mind is alert. After all, I'm asking you questions, directing you, giving you suggestions. People say, when I listen to that recording at home, I love it, and I remember all the words. Or they might go, when I listen to that recording, every time I play it, I hear something new, something exciting. So you will not be asleep. You cannot be put to sleep. In fact, you know what hypnosis does? It wakes you up to your phenomenal potential, to the gift you have to share with the world. So hypnosis won't send you to sleep. It will definitely wake you up to be the amazing person you have, the potential. It will unlock the potential inside of you. Here's myth number 3. Hypnosis is dangerous because you're out of control and may harm yourself. And many people do that because they say, hey, I saw a stage hypnotist and this guy went up and he fell in love with a broom. And he was dancing around on stage with a broom like it was the love of his life. And that's dangerous. But you see, here's the thing. 1 in 10 people are extremely receptive to suggestions. These have become actors or poets or writers or designers because they are highly receptive to suggestions. We can say they are highly suggestible. An actor can understand how to play a psychopath. A designer can look at a room and go, I'm going to put that there, and yet many people have to go and see a show house because they can't imagine what a house will look like. But if you are that 1 in 10, and you will volunteer, and by the way, they volunteer as stage hypnotists. I'll have you, and you. They ask for volunteers. They know in asking for volunteers that 1 in 10 will come up, and then give them suggestions. Hey, this broom is the love of your life. But they actually know what they're doing. It's a stage show after all. And if you see a stage hypnotist, when the volunteers come up, give them a test, they send some of them back again because they are not the person they want. So you will never be out of control. You can't be out of control. I had my daughter in hypnosis. I've had dental work done in hypnosis, but I'm not out of control. And actually, when I have dental, and I'll often say, well, how long is this going to take? And yeah, I can keep my mouth open for that long, but I need to know when it's going to end because I know exactly what's going on. You cannot be out of control. It is not dangerous. Nothing dangerous has ever happened in hypnosis. Many hypnotists will say, please do not listen to this recording when you're driving a car because you feel too relaxed. But that warning says, do not drive a car when you're listening to a hypnotic suggestion. And as long as you obey that and observe that, hypnosis cannot be dangerous. It's not dangerous. It's actually amazing. I have a lot in my life. A child I was told I could never have. And all of that is down to using hypnosis to make my life better. And I've used it for everything, to get on stage, to speak to 5,000 people. But it isn't dangerous, but it is really exciting. So let's go on to myth number 4. Hypnosis is mystical. It leaves you open to spiritual influence. It's anti-religion. That's not true. In the Bible it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It also says, I will transform you in the blinking of an eye. There are many references in the Bible to hypnosis and in many other religious tomes too, because hypnosis is simply a way to help people change. I work with children of 5 who are being bullied at school, children of 7 who believe there's a monster under the bed, children of 10 who feel they can't remember anything in order to pass their exams, and they respond to hypnosis. But they are my dream clients because I already have such a receptive mind. So religion is not anti-hypnosis, and it is not a mystical process that's so woo-woo that you are open to being influenced for the rest of your life. You know, I worked with somebody many years ago who had appalling claustrophobia so bad that he actually couldn't go out, and he was brought to my office in a terrible state. And he remembered several scenes being lost at a football match when he was just a little kid and was at knee height and felt he was being suffocated, falling in a swimming pool and nearly drowning. And I've actually forgotten what the third scene was, but he began to see that he acquired a fear of being in a small space. And we overcame it completely. He actually became an actor, and he was on stage, and some other kept saying, but that hypnotist, she's controlled your mind. He said, Mum, I couldn't leave the house for years, and now I'm acting on stage. Because I know, but it's dangerous. What's she done? He said, but she's opened me up. She unlocked what was already inside me. I had the ability to act, but I couldn't leave the house. And she removed the fear. And she didn't make me an actor. She didn't give me but she unlocked something that was already in me. And that's what you must understand. We have many brainwaves, alpha, beta, theta, delta. Alpha is extraordinarily relaxing, and other brainwaves are where you are highly suggestible. And you go in and out of those brainwaves all the time. Part of that is hypnosis, but it's not mystical. You're not going to start eating mung beans and having a sound bowl and meditating all the time and forget to live your life. Because, by the way, most high-performing Olympic athletes use hypnosis. I worked with a bobsleigh team, a rifle team, the English rowing squad. Do you think they became mystical? No, they were hardcore athletes, running, training, building muscle, going out at night. They weren't woo-woo, spiritual, mystical creatures. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. But many CEOs, many top athletes, many top actors will use hypnosis. I have many times hypnotized an actor just to pick up a dialect, to speak with an accent, a Brooklyn accent, a Liverpool accent, a Scottish accent that they don't have. And they can hear it. And in hypnosis, they believe that they can speak it, and they do. But that's not mystical. It's actually a science that says when you think a thought, you're changing your neural pathways. You're firing better neurons. Nothing woo or mystical about that. And here's the last myth. Hypnosis is just for stage shows. It's a gimmick. Well, there are people who use hypnosis on stage shows, and I don't object to that because I believe that they show you the power of hypnosis, the power of having your mind accept a suggestion and act upon it. And a stage show is a neutral thing. Well, there's a guy making someone believe that he's in love with a fire hydrant, making him believe that his hand is stuck to his leg and he can't lift it up. But what if you could see? But how about using that power to make me believe that I'm super confident? How about using that power to make you believe that you're talented, gifted, confident, have high self-esteem, are lovable, can create wealth and joy and health in your life? Because a stage show shows you the potential of the human mind. The hypnotist says that, and the person believes they can't remember the number 9. They can't say the number 9. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Well, it's a gimmick, it's a show. But you could have a good hypnotist make you believe that you had a phenomenal memory, that you're deeply lovable, that you're warm and magnetic, that you can express yourself, that you can build a business, find love, be an amazing parent. Hypnosis will unlock the potential in you. After all, when you were born, guess what happened? Everybody counted your fingers and toes. I can't be the center of attention. I'm no good at that. I don't like being looked at. Well, you couldn't have been born like that because that's the first thing that happened. I don't know how to leave food. A baby knows how to leave food. In the womb, you have food on tap, and no baby just feeds and feeds and feeds. And so here's the great thing. You can use hypnosis to reactivate, re-manifest, regenerate, and actually recreate the potential that was in you, the ability to sleep through the night, leave food, only eat when you're hungry, like being the focus of attention, know that you're worthy of love. That's all in you, and hypnosis will unlock it. And if you ask me what hypnosis does, what I do with my clients, I'll always tell you 2 things. I give them freedom and empowerment. I unlock in them freedom and empowerment. And you can find that too through the power, the amazing power, the phenomenal, incredible power of hypnosis. I'm a massive fan because everything I have in my life, and I have a lot, but my success, having a baby, having a wonderful marriage, I owe a lot of that to hypnosis because it made me believe I was worth it, I was worthy, and I was deserving of it. It can do that for you as well. So if you want to learn how to harness the powerful transforming effects of hypnosis as an RTT therapist, if you want to know how to change people's lives but definitely change your own in the process, just click the link below to find out more about training with me, because it is, I can promise you, the best job in the world, which is why I've been doing it for 30 plus years, and I love it as much today as the day I started. Check out my next video here.